Okay, welcome to part 3. This is part 3 of 3. We're going to get Euanthe species red. This is the female here. The Lasiodora paraibana, Pterochilus marinus. Those are the juveniles. We're going to try the Aphonopelma gabelli. I'll see if we can get some shots of the Nandu Colorado villosus. And then we have the slings in the deli cups, the slings in the baseball cubes, the slings in the vials, and the slings in the small deli cups to go. And a couple scorpions. So we're going to try her first. We're going to try and get this one done quick. And no, she didn't. She just threat postured that thing. She ate last time, but she kind of waited for me to be done. So we're just going to move right on. Okay, so here is the Pterochilus marinus. This is chaos, and I'm not real thrilled about doing this with the enclosure top off. I usually just throw the food in there and let him go. A lot of times the roach will get behind, as it did. You can see right here is part of, ooh, she's right there, part of the molt. So what I'm going to do is cover her back up real quick and get a worm. She likes the worms. She'll come out for that. We'll let the roach kind of stay in the back. You can see her right there. I always find it fascinating with some of these webbing species, especially like the marinus, how they will just emerge through their webbing. Oh yeah, there she is. Oh, look at that. That is just splendor. Okay, I gotta get a picture of that, so we're gonna move on. Okay, so after that little escapade, we have Lasiodora paraibana. Not sure on the sex of this one. This one is an absolute nut job. We're going to actually go with a Aria worm for this one. That didn't take long. So quick takedown and pull into the cave. Okay, this is the Grammostola pulchra. This is Norman, the male. I didn't make the move to the bigger enclosure. There's the shoebox. I did not keep its wood. I used it for the Amelia, so it stayed in that container. But I used this piece of wood that was being used by the Vittata, cleaned it up, and made a cave out of that for him. Let's see if he's been pretty active in here. And hungry. That's for sure. Alright, good for Norman. Alright, we'll move on. Okay, light's getting dim. Dim. We may have to pause these and finish up feeding video 3 later. We're going to try and feed Monterey. This is the gabelli, Aphonopelma gabelli. She just does not like to eat. Till now. lovely. Come on. There, look at her. Fauna Palmagabelli. Carlsbad Green, I think is what their common name is. Alright, we'll try and get a couple more in before the light dies on me. Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to part 3 of the June 2017 feeding videos. There are, what did I just count, 47 spiders and tarantulas and scorpions to be fed. We're going to start out with one of the wolf spiders, Trugosa aspersa, or Trugosa annexa. We're not quite sure exactly. Hopefully I do a little bit of better camera work today than I did yesterday. These things are pretty quick when they want to be. Let's see if it's hungry. Gave it a red runner. Oh yeah. Definitely hungry. Alright. We shall move on. Okay, next up is the Nandu caropoensis. Get out of there. Oh, oh, we didn't see it, but into the burrow as usual. I think every time I fed this one on camera, that's how it's actually fed, where the roach ran into its little cave. This one is getting a rehouse. Okay, let's move on. Okay, next up is a Neoholotheliense. I always get dumbfounded when they don't eat. I don't know why. The tarantula is in the burrow that starts here and goes all the way through here. This is where it lives. Last time I fed it, it come flying out of this side, I think, to, maybe it came out of this side. I can't remember now. Nope, it didn't come out, so I'm going to expect to say that it's probably, possibly, in a pre-molt situation. I really can't tell. It's buried underneath all that moss, that little bugger. So we'll take this cricket out because I don't like leaving crickets in with ones I suspect are in pre-molt. I try not to anyway. So we'll move on. Okay, so I got the cricket out of the Neoholotheliense enclosure, and we're going to feed it to Arkham. And Arkham's going to take it right off like a champ. close up. Can't go wrong with GBBs. Chromatopelma, Cyaneo, pubescens. I have 3. Denver's due a molt. We'll be seeing Chindi in a little bit. And Arkham. Alright. Oh, we're going to move. Usually he just sits there. And this is a suspected male. Oh, we're going to drag our stuff back down this time. Alrighty then. We'll let him do his thing and we'll move on. Okay folks, this is the enclosure of the Orphanachus philippinus Cheeto. I just can't seem to get this spider to come out ever. I know it's hungry. Hasn't eaten in a while. It's really got its orange colors with the last molt. We're not even moving around. We're there. I could see him. He's got the whole area webbed with little tripwires all the way around, and then there's a little area down here, down in this area. I don't know if we try, if I can catch this little roach by the leg. He's coming. Came out part of the way. You got to see his orange feet. Come on, Cheeto. Let me get a meal. So we'll let the roach go down inside there and see what Cheeto does. Looks like... Oh, he got it. Yeah, he got it. You can tell because he's doing that pumping up and down. You guys won't be able to see. I don't think I can get you guys a view inside there. Let me get you out of this tripod. Don't buy these things. Betapods don't work. There goes my light. That works good for a stand for your tripod. I think I can get you in there where you can see. There's Cheeto's abdomen. Okay, well, one of these days we'll get that bugger out so you can see it. Okay, here is one of the Tigrosa, Aspersa, Annexa, whichever the one they are. This is, of course, a female with the egg sac. I did feed it once and it ate, so we're going to try and continue to feed it. I think she's the biggest. Now she'll take that egg sac with her. They never leave it. I fed her and just let it go. I didn't really. Yep, there you go. So that'll tell you that they still eat while they have an egg sac. And that's a pretty big ball of babies there. I mean, there's some dwarf tarantulas. That's about the size of the egg sac for some of them. Now she's a good 1 3/4. So we're going to get the other two Tigroses also fed. One other one with an egg sac that I haven't fed her yet, and the other one that I fed once. And with the true spiders, you seem to feed them a tad bit more often because their metabolisms are higher. They're moving around a lot more than what tarantulas do, so they do need to feed more often. Yeah, like I try to go like every 3 days. Like I said, I have fed her once since we captured her. The first wolf spider that you guys saw, I captured. She was fed once before, so that's her second feeding. The smallest one was fed once, so she'll get fed again today, and then the other one with an egg sac I haven't fed yet. So we'll make sure that we get a feed into her. Okay, let's move on. So along those lines, we're going to go ahead and feed the other female with the egg sac. She was just out, but she hides underneath the cork bark there. We'll see if we can entice her out. Oh yeah. If we can get the cricket to quit running, maybe it would have been better with a roach with her. This cricket's just hopping. There you go. Dog feeding a wolf spider. That's a first for me. So, okay, so both females with egg sacs continue to eat. Okay, so that's probably a good fact to know. I wasn't quite sure. I thought I fed the one I had last year while she had an egg sac. I was pretty sure I did, so it's good to know for sure. Like I said, this is the first feeding for her. The other one did feed twice. Or this one fed twice. The other one only fed once. My bad. So we'll do the last little wolf spider. Then again, maybe we won't. And I'll show you why. Okay, bear with me a second, cover her up. And we shall uncover this one. I hope this one's okay. Oh yeah, it's moving. So we molted. Looks like we're getting ready to maybe finish getting out of it. I hope we're not stuck there. Kind of seems stuck. Yeah, we are. We're stuck a little. I have to try and help this one out. Okay, I'm going to have to pause and try to get this one out of here. Okay, so molt is off. Spider's still moving. I don't see any hemolymph hemorrhages. There was a point on, you can see this leg right there. There was a little bit of a droplet there that's not leaking now. And if you look at the molt, I got her out, okay, and you could see right leg 1 and right leg 2 were the two legs that were stuck. She was stuck. I mean, literally stuck. She was trying to pull herself out. She couldn't do it. So when I grabbed the molt by leg 1L, or L1, and pulled, R2 came right out. That leg slid right out without too much problem. R1 gave me some fits. I didn't really pull too hard, so when I realized it wasn't coming off real well, I got the little scissors, or actually my X-Acto knife, and just kind of held the molt and kind of cut that little part off. Now, part of the leg is, not the leg, but the leg from the molt is in the dish here. We're moving, so hopefully we'll recover. I don't do this very often. Like I said, the last true spider I had was the Dolomites. I can't remember what I had now. It was a fishing spider. I can't remember what the species name of it was. That one got stuck in a molt and I didn't see it until a day or two probably later. This is the first time I've helped a true spider out of a molt. I hope I didn't damage it. I didn't really handle or touch the spider much at all. I just kind of put the wooden dowel or the skewer stick in front of the spider, so when I was slowly pulling on, there, she's getting ready to flip. When I was gently pulling on it, she didn't really move, but you could see the legs here on the left side. That back leg is definitely going to give her a problem. Looks like L2 is okay, L1 is okay. I'm not too sure about L3. The right side, we seem to be okay. We'll see when she stretches out, so I'll have to just, we'll have to pray that she comes through it okay, and I'll update you guys on her progress. Hopefully she pulls through. You see those striking colors now. Hopefully she makes it. I'll probably update you guys maybe tomorrow, or if there's any major changes tonight. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, back to feedings. This is Chindi. This is the deli cup group. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of those to go. And then we'll do the baseball cubes and the 50 dram vials and the 4-ounce deli cups, or the 4-ounce deli cup teas. And maybe we'll try and feed the Harpactira pulca piece. Now this is Chindi's first meal after a molt. We're going to go with a dubia and right on it. Like I said earlier, you GBBs are just tanks. I still think GBBs and the Acanthoscurria geniculatas and the Nandu species are probably, I think, personally, the best hitters out of all the spiders that I have. When they're hungry and they want to eat, which is generally most of the time, they don't let much go to the wayside. They will nail it right away. A little bit better focus there. Okay, so we'll get Chindi covered up and we'll move on. Okay, next up to perform, hopefully, is Cujo, Grammostola pulca piece. This will be its first feeding since it molted also. Well, it didn't eat the last time, let's put that. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Why would you go in there, you stupid roach? You're a red runner. Come on, get out of there. Well, you really webbed this up. I don't generally see that much from Grammostola species. Yeah, Cujo, we're going to fix your water dish here. I have no idea where that little roach went. None whatsoever. I guarantee it won't come out for a while. So we'll go with plan B. And we'll go with a small cricket, that way if we do eat this and then the roach decides to come out. There we go. Yeah, I found that filming these deli cups, I don't have a good height with the camera. There's Cujo. If you don't have one of these, you got to get one. Definitely, Grammostola pulchripes. All right, we'll move on. Okay, this is the Plesiopelma species Bolivia. One of my favorite ones. Just going to give it a small cricket, see if we can get it to come out. I am kind of struggling with, oh yeah, there we go, always. Did you get it? Yep, you are a shit. Anyway, usually this time of the year, I have a ton of nymph babies from the red runners. And I don't seem to have any. I pulled a bunch of eggs, but not a rookie. Well, excuse me. Just dumb mistake on my part. I put them in a deli cup, which I generally will do with, you know, a ton of the eggs, so I get a little nymphs in there separated, and I don't have to try and dig them out through all the egg crates. I forgot to spray them, so they dried out. So I didn't get any hatchlings out of the, I don't know, there's 30 plus eggs in there. And I'm not really sure if there's any in the enclosure right now. Depending on if I work or don't work this weekend, I think I'm going to get 2 containers to put into one container and then separate the dubia and the red runners from each other. So that way I can pick what I want to feed that day. We'll just put 2 containers in there open with no tops inside that container, and then give them separate food dishes, of course. They won't be able to climb into each other's enclosures. That'll take some time separating them, but I think that's the move I'm going to make. Again, that depends on if I work this weekend. They want me to go back to second shift. Because one of the guys on second shift is going to be off the rest of the month, but they're talking about leaving me on first and then moving one of the guys on third to second, so I don't know what's happening. I won't know till hopefully tomorrow. I'll know what's going on. So if I do videos, if I go to second shift, videoing is easier, because I'll do the videos during the day and then I'll come home from work and then I'll upload them while I'm sleeping, and then they'll be ready, you know, in the morning. So, all right, let's move on. Okay, next up is the Grammostola pulchra sling. We're going to try a dubia. I'm not sure this is going to work or not, but we'll find out. Ooh, looks like we have some interest. Dubia is going to play dead. Inexperienced spider's not going to know what to do. Come on, roach. That's it, make the move. Okay, buddy, use the fangs. Use them. Use them. You're there. Use them. What more has you got to do? So right now, I think what we're doing is playing piggyback the dubia. Possibly we're going to eat him. But for right now, we're just going to ride him. Well, we're going to pretend to ride him because he's not moving. There we go. Now we're going to eat him. I love this little dude. He's got such character. I hope this is a female. Oh, I so hope this is a female. I almost want to get a couple more of them just to kind of ensure myself the odds or increase my odds of having a female. Trying to decide to do what Cody Wilson's supposed to be coming through on his way to do a filming in Hanover, Pennsylvania with my friend Vlad, and they're going to be coming through our area here on I-90. There's only like 20 some miles in Pennsylvania of I-90, and I said, well, maybe we can, you know, meet up and grab a bite to eat on the way through, and I'll pick up something or two from him. I'm not really quite sure. I was thinking of Baumgarteni, but I still might move one of the mature male Dolichotheles for a Baumgarteni and something else. So we'll see what he's got. He's doing a deal on tarantula keepers for a month. He's sponsoring for a month there, so he's got different deals every few days. Like today, he's selling Poecilotheria metallica for $35 a piece. So that's a pretty decent price for a Poecilotheria metallica. And if I didn't have a female already, I might consider that. But since I already have a female, I would rather have a pokey I didn't have, like the Hanuma salamica. Hanuva salamica. I can't even say it. I've said it in my head a million times and it sounds right, but then I say it orally and it doesn't sound right. But he's got those. He's got Poecilotheria smithies, the yellowback baboon, or not baboon, holy man. Ornamental, that's it. The pokies are ornamentals. So the yellowback ornamental, and then he's got, I think he's got striatas and ornatas, rufilatas. I don't know if I said that or not. So I might just go with another pokey that I don't have. I might not even get anything. I don't know. So, all right, let's move on now. We talked enough about this. Okay, next up is the last of the Brachiopelma albopilosum. This is a hobby form. This is Juno. Oh, man, that was my bad, guys. I dropped a roach right into the burrow on this side over here, and Juno took it right off. There's the butt right there. Maybe she'll bring it out, or he'll bring it out. So far I have one mature male Brachiopelma albopilosum, which we believe is a Nicaraguan. We have the unsexed Brachiopelma albopilosum Nicaraguan, and two young juvenile female Brachiopelma albopilosums. So if this one turns out to be male, I'm not going to be sad about it. So, alright, well, at least you get to see a fuzzy butt. Okay, let's move on to something that we can probably hopefully see. Sable. Brachiopelma emilia. Hasn't eaten since it molted. Gonna try a little dubia. I do have a plethora of baby dubias though. Molted almost 3.5 weeks ago, still hasn't taken a meal yet. Dubia is going to, yeah. Come on, little one. Abdomen looks okay, so it's not like it's starving. But I'd still like to see it eat anyway. Up here. one's always been a decent heater. This last molt it just kind of crapped out on me. So we're going to leave that dubia in there and see what happens. It'll be here. If it does eat, we'll update it. Okay, this one likes to eat where it's at. This is a Pteronopelma sazerae. I'll try and get a cricket in there and see. Sorry for the reflection. There's not a lot I can do about it. No, you're not coming back out. I know you don't want to go in there, but you're gonna. Where did you go? I think you've seen what happened. You saw the flash of the spider, I'm sure, go up to, went up here, there's a little area right there. That's where the cricket went down, and that's where the spider is. So, okay, so we got another one fed, which is good. Let's see if it'll come down with it. And this is one of those spiders that I saw right away that I wanted, and it took me over 1.5 years to actually decide to pick one up. Okay, so the cricket's going to struggle, and I named this one Azure. Azure is a shade of blue. I thought it would be a fitting name. I think I've said that before. You'll probably hear me repeat myself or tell stories more than once because I never remember if I've told the story or haven't told the story. So here's a real quick update. We'll move Azure out of the way. This is kind of funny because, again, when I say you don't see certain spiders very often, and then boom, they're there a lot, and you know, you feed them and think they're going to eat, and then they just don't. This is the male Heterothelys villicella, cricket number 1, roach number 1. Cricket number 2 seems to be gone, which leads me to believe maybe the female grabbed it. But there is a roach number 2 that just went down that hole before oh, there's cricket number 2, so no, we didn't grab it. Yeah, so there's a roach in there. So right now they have 2 crickets and 2 roaches, 2 spiders, and nobody's eating. There's Rio, Canthoscuria geniculata. Doesn't need to be fed. I'm going to skip the feeding for this one, but I am going to rehouse it. So it's going to get out of this deli cup and go into one of those systemas, the systema containers, like the villicellas are in right there. So it's going to get a upgrade, a little bit more dirt, give it an area where I can wet down, because it seems like the agens will go to a damper area now and then. Give it something to climb under and hide. It looks like it's getting ready soon to go into a pre-molt. So we're going to let this one go. I'm going to rehouse it tonight. So I will update the rehousing project. Either I'll show you the enclosure before I put her in, and I say her because I want to, or after I put her in, one or the other. I'm not quite sure. We'll see how it goes, or maybe I'll give you a before and after. But yeah, we'll go with a mixture of coconut fiber and a little bit of peat moss and potting soil, organic potting soil. And we'll kind of just mix that all together, give it a darker coloring. But there's things about each substrate that I can talk about, again, another topic for hours, but cocoa fiber, after a while, when it dries out, it shrinks. And what it does is it pulls itself into itself. So you'll see the area around the outside or around the edges of enclosures where there's like no dirt. And that's not because the spider's doing it, it's because the cocoa fiber kind of pulls in on itself after a while. So by adding the potting soil, which dries out relatively well too, and the peat moss actually will keep that structure a little bit different. It'll help keep it pushed out, but you do have to wet it now and then. The problem is when you wet it and let it dry for a couple weeks and then wet it and let it dry, that's when it starts to shrink. So, okay, so you can see, you know, she's got a nice, lovely, decent sized butt, so we're going to let her go and move on. There's another one that's not going to get fed. As you can see why. Nice and shiny. Very active still for being that close to molting. Oop. And this one will climb out in a heartbeat too. So we're going to cover this one back up. This is Lana. This is the Grammostola rosea, the red color form. And we'll move on to the Hapalopus species Columbia. We're going to try to feed the HMAC. It's been about 6 days since it molted. And I'm not sure about the Lasiodorides polycuspulatus. We're gonna see what that one's gonna do. It's under its burrow right now, so I may just wait and skip it, just water it. Oh, there's water in there actually. We'll probably just skip that one. Here, so you can see it a little bit better. You can't see how shiny it is, but I can. The king baboon, the Polynymbus muticus, did not eat. Monocentropus belfori did not eat. Neoholotheliense did not eat. There was one more. I don't remember which one it was. Somebody else didn't eat. So I deleted them because there was nothing really even interesting in what I talked about. So, okay, we got one more, the Hapalopus species Columbia and the Heteroscodra maculata in the deli cup section, and then we got to get to the smaller slings up top. Okay, this is the Hapalopus species Columbia large. This is Cole. Not sure male or female. Molted a week and a half ago. These things are phenomenal eaters when they're not in pre-molt, and very quick spiders as well. Hopefully, I want it to come out. I'd like for it to come out and actually come and get this so you can see it. This cricket doesn't want to cooperate at all though. Oh, you rotten no good cricket. There you go. When I got two of these at the Erie Reptile Expo. I gave one to a friend. Of course, they have their colors, you know, when they're little, but they were so tiny. Now we're starting to get that, you know, that pinkish legs, and you can see the difference between the Hapalopus species Columbia large, and let me put this down so I'm not shaking the whole time. Bear with me. The difference between the Hapalopus species Columbia large, that's a heck of a picture right there, and the Hapalopus species Columbia small, or the Klein, is, if you look at, goodness, damn it, I scared it. There goes my photo op and my explanation. So yeah, now I can't explain to you unless I can get it to come back out. I don't know if I can get it back out. I don't want to take off on us, but okay, there we are. We'll try not to spook it this time. If you look at the abdomen and you see the orange pattern, I can't even tell you what that pattern even resembles, but you have the dot with a line that connects it to the next pattern of the line that connects it to the next pattern. So that orange, if those lines or those three dots or those three symbols are touching with orange, that's the Hapalopus species Columbia large. If those little dots there, yeah, I can't do that very well. Those little dots have black all the way around them and they don't touch, that's the Hapalopus species Columbia small. That's the easiest way to tell. So, okay, I'm going to take a quick photo while it's sitting here and then move on to the HMAC. This is Voodoo. Well, you can't see Voodoo. For the love of God, this stupid thing. Before I do this, I'm going to rotate back over. Okay, there is Voodoo. Voodoo doesn't like light. We're going to try and feed Voodoo. The problem with HMACs, well, other than their speed and their willingness to bite, is their tendency to stay hidden. They like to be solitary. They like to not be bothered. They're not. They don't like light, but their webbing is so sticky, and a lot of times when you try to feed them, the prey items get stuck in the webbing. I'm doing this on the faith that old Voodoo won't decide to just bolt. It hasn't been tremendously long since it molted, 6 days, so it may not be ready or wanting to eat yet, but we'll give it a quick shot. I think I filmed it a few times getting prey, and they're hard to film because of the webbing. You know, the camera likes to focus on certain things, and then when there's movement, it'll want to focus on something different, like, you know, this spot right here, it'll focus on instead of down below. We'll see if that cricket moves again. I'll try and yeah, it doesn't look like Voodoo's willing to eat. I always wanted one of these. This is one that I took my time getting. I actually ordered one 3 times and then changed my mind because I didn't feel I was ready. And then this Stromatopelma calceatum, because they're very pretty, but I've decided that I don't want pretty spiders that I can't see that often. I like Dave Scott's setup. His HMACs he sees all the time. They don't seem to web as heavy as this one has, but yeah, their females are extraordinary looking. Again, that's right in my alley of, you know, what I like aesthetically or eye pleasing to me in spiders. Those colors, grays, blacks, tans, creams, whites. You know, that browns. That stuff is deep greens. That stuff is appeasing to me. And not that I don't like reds and blues and purples and everything else, but okay, well, so that's why I didn't get a calceatum, and I don't know that I will. So I'm going to pause now and move all these containers back to their respective spots on the shelf and get down the other things. Okay, next up is a Brachypelma hamori. This is pepper. We're going to go with a small, well, it doesn't seem to be small enough mealworm, but we'll crush the head a little. And then we'll throw it in there and see if it'll scavenge. The mealworm's pretty much disabled. Not sure if we'll actually see it strike. We might, but this one is a scavenger. Most the babies at this size are, so we're just going to leave it in there and move on. Okay, here's the Babycurus jacksoni. This is the chocolate morph. Hasn't eaten yet since it molted. Come on, buddy. Do it up. Come on, that's food. Not quite sure what to do with it. It's freaking him out. Guess we're kind of scared of it. Now we're going to focus in on the mealworm, not the scorpion. Okay, well, there you have it. Scorpion not very fond of the mealworm. We're going to let it sit in that water dish and see if it'll take it later, though. Then we'll go on to the other scorpion, the other two scorpions, actually. Okay, under the log there, once we focus, is the other Babycurus jacksoni. This is the regular morph. Give me a second, I'm going to take this log out. And the dish. And we'll go back to the scorpion there. Yeah, he's an eater. And I think the other day when I found the molt from the chocolate morph, I said that it looked male. Well, I found out ways to tell, you know, whether the Jacksonis are male or female. It's not by their peptines, because they have roughly the same amount. It's by their claws. Oh no, I forgot the name already. The part of the claw that doesn't move. If it's bulbous or roundish, it's a male. If it's thin and skinny, it's a female. Now, these still are kind of young, so we might not be able to even really tell yet. But, yeah, so that's the Jacksoni. Regular morph, and we'll move on to the Opisthothalamus Wahlbergi. Wahlbergi. That's a fun name to say, Wahlbergi. Okay, so here is the Opisthothalamus Wahlbergi. Let's see if we can I'm not interested in the worm at all. Now this is a burrowing, quote-unquote, scorpion. They're from Tanzania in Africa. I was told to make sure that they had water, but I've also watched this tarantula, tarantula. Yeah, it's a scorpion, or a tarantula dressed in scorpion clothes. No, it moved and only moved dirt into the water dish. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. But we're going to try and find a small cricket. Here's one. see if it's interested in that. It ate real well the first time I fed it, and I haven't fed it since. So it's been about a week. Nope, we grabbed it. Here, we'll, why do I always take the lid off and not know where I put it? Okay, I'm going to move him up here. You guys can check him out this way, maybe. There he is. Tri-colored scorpion, I guess is the common name. So I'm going to move on because the light's getting dim and we still have quite a few to go. Okay, we're getting ready to feed one of my favorite spiders. You can see the little blue leg there. That's the under part. That's the pad, or the dorsal part of the pad of the, I guess that's, you call it the metatarsal, then the tarsal, right? Tarsal's the foot. Yeah, because that's where the claws are. Tarsal claws. This is the Ephobopus murinus. We'll see if we're hungry and want to come out. That's interesting. I thought, you see the spider moving off to the left there, right there. It went under its burrow and tried to go the back door route. That's not where I want you to go, because I don't want him to feed over here. I'd rather him feed at the entrance of the burrow, but he does what he wants. It's Delaney. I'm okay with it. You do what you want to do. Okay, next. Okay, this is Thaisa. Brachypelma classy. We're going to give it a very, very small worm. And I don't want that worm to burrow. Come on. Eat it. Tell you what, these little tiny mealworms are fast. Fast as lightning. Okay, we'll try a small dubia. Let me see what I can find. Okay, so we got a small dubia. This might be more up its alley. We'll see. I don't ever see this one attack its food. I just see it after it does. Oh, you can't come out. You go get that roach. This one seems to do better on crickets, but I don't have any more appropriately sized crickets for it. So we're probably going to struggle with the small kilo brachy species, because they're pretty small. Okay, we'll move on. Okay, this one is the Sednoctimus brachyramosa. It is alive. It buried itself, but it is in the corner there. Can't tell, but hopefully we'll get to feed because it's been a while. At least I think it was there. Or did it bury itself again? I think it did. No, no, it's right there. It is right there. We haven't seen this one eat. We haven't seen this spider, period, you guys, I don't think. Let me see if we can, I don't know, we'll try. I don't know if I can catch this cricket by the leg. Our focuses have been concentrating on trying to get the little dude. You can see him now, right? Right in the corner there. He was facing this way, so his head was right here. So by trying to push the cricket down here, he kind of went that way. So I don't think we're going to get to see him feed. This will be one of those spiders, once we get maybe to a juvenile state, it'll be a little bit more receptive to feeding on camera. Okay, let's move on before we lose our light. Okay, next up is the Cereocosmus elegans. You gotta watch this one like a hawk because it will want to come out. There we are. She is out. Dubia is not moving, which this is the bad part about dubias, and everybody knows it. Nope, didn't want it. Just didn't want it. Okay, well, it's going down in her burrow, so she'll probably get it if she wants it. So I'm going to take a picture of her while she's out and move on. Okay, we're going to see if Maligro will eat. This is a Brachypelma hamori. I have to giggle sometimes when I read people's posts on the groups about how they're power feeding their slings, and I'm trying to figure out exactly how they're doing it, because I can't get some of these slings to eat in a 30-day span, let alone once every 2 days. You know, and it's not crazy species. It's species like, you know, the Hamoris, the Amelias. Oh, we power feed, which I don't recommend at all. Oh, we want to get them out of that fragile stage. You know, to me, you're just killing them faster, really, but that's up to you. So you can see he doesn't want anything to do, or she doesn't want anything to do with that cricket whatsoever. And she hasn't eaten in 3 weeks, if not longer. So I don't know how these people power feed tarantulas, but okay, we'll move on. Okay, Grandma stole a Pulchripes. This is named It. This one probably would have been a better side shot. We just need the roach to move. It seems easier to feed some of these slings, the dubias, than it does the other ones. Ones that eat better. Don't run away from it. I messed him up. No, he probably won't eat it now. Keeper interference. Okay, well, anyway. Dubia's next to him, so I'm sure he'll eventually get it if it sees it moving again without my interference. So we're going to move on before, like I said, we still got 1, 2 here to do. And then the arboreals. We have to wait on the kilos till we, well, maybe I don't want to stop because he's getting ready to attack. I still have the arboreals. So the Tachypneius species, Columbia and Cupreus, the Tachypneius gigas, the Carabina versicolor. We're not feeding the Salmopaeus pulcher because it's in primo. We have the Iberpora soritoma that needs to be fed, and the 5 Chilobrachys, 3 Cancracans, 2 Discalus, 1 Holothele sanguinicepus, and 1 Acanthoscuria geniculata. So I think we're going to go ahead and move on. Like I said, the light's getting ready to die on us, so we'll move on. Okay, this is the first attempt at post-molt feeding for Grammostola porteri. Porteri, however you like to say it. Nice post-molt dubia. See if we can do keeper interference again. No, not that. At least you get to see. Oh, they always want to eat the stick. Because the stick is moving. The roach isn't. I'm trying to get the roach to move. And of course, you guys have done this a million times. I don't think I need to explain myself what I'm doing. You do it too. Try to get that dubia roach to move, and well, I'm going to explain it anyway. I don't really care. And it attacks the stick instead of the roach. The roach plays dead to try and live. The stick is dead. It doesn't want to get eaten. I already got eaten yesterday by the Albo pelosum, but so I'm sure if I try poking, there's no way I'm going to get into that, poke that thing to make it move. So we're just going to have to trust in the system. It has a pretty good shot of her. Well, again, I'm calling it herd because I want to. And I named it Ingrid, so it pretty much has to be female. That's what I'm saying. Okay, we're going to move on again. You may not be able to see them feed, but you are getting at least to see some of them. Some of the ones you haven't seen in a while or haven't seen at all. Alright. So, remember I said we had the arboreals to feed. Yeah, you really can't. And the Iberpora soritoma. So the minute that I lifted the lid off, it ran out, down the side, down my arm, down my leg, and underneath our mess shelf, basically. It was under there. So I got it back pretty quickly. Again, didn't panic. I just got down on my hands and knees with the flashlight. There was actually something in the back there. I'm glad it went back there instead of under the door, because that would have been bad. So now I've got to get this bugger back into its home, which I think now that it's out, I'm going to put it into something different. So I'll probably make something up for it and get it rehoused. And I'm going to finish doing the feeding videos. I just got an upload notice about Dave Scott not uploading anymore, so I'd like to see what that's all about. So we're going to feed a few more and wrap it up. Now that that's all over and done with, you can see there's Tachycines gigas. This is the third one I've had. The other two both died. Hopefully we can get this one to fruition. It's been fed once after I brought it home from the Buffalo show, and not again since. I do think I'm going to go ahead and move this one into one of those paint jars. I think that's what I'm going to do with the avicularia, or yeah, Earberopora sortoma also. I have a couple of those spare, so I think I'm going to go ahead and end up getting those set up for these two. And get them moved. Did it make any attempt to sorry, I was watching the E. Murinus. Okay, it knows that something's in there because it's going kind of goofy crazy. Now it's way over here. I think it feels the vibration of the cricket, and because the moss is in there, there's going to be probably a higher sensitivity because the cricket's going to move that moss all over the place. So I'm going to zoom you in just a tad and try to collect the next prey item for the next spider, because we're running out of appropriate size food items. And at this point, I'm not really looking forward to try and dig through the roach container for small tiny roaches. So try to feed off these medium-sized crickets. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead with the avicularia. See if we can get this one fed, and if the gigas grabs a hold of anything, I will bring you guys to it. Bring it to you. Now we're feeding on top of Dean Koontz's face here. Again, I don't think he's going to mind too much. Hope. I'm not sure we'll get any of these little ones to feed. We're going to try like heck, but usually the avicularia is a pretty good eater. And I believe we have a touchdown. Now you'll see a nice little dance. Okay. We got 3 more to feed. So let's get it wrapped up. Give me a second. Oh, I think I'm just gonna let it roll. Here is the you can't see it, can you? I'll bring it down here. Come on, focus. Carabina versicolor. This one we named Trouble. There's that dog. My favorite thing in the world, that dog. I'm not really quite sure we're going to get this one to eat. Okay, this is another one. We're going to go ahead and I'm going to put it off to the side, and if it does get the prey item, we'll take a quick gander. Now we're going to move on to the Tapaniquenia species Columbia that had been fed since its molt, and the Tapaniquenia cupreus. It's getting really dim. I was having a hard time finding something to feed this one. This is a Tapaniquenia species Columbia. Oh yeah. Hungry fellow. Little tiny dubia. Okay, that one's done. This is the Tapaniquenia species, or Tapaniquenia cupreus. We're going to go with a little worm. Hopefully it will come out and we can end the video on a good note. I'm videoing this on today's Tuesday. I'm probably not going to upload it till tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to have time to upload this tonight. It's a little late now for me to, it'll take probably an hour and a half to get it all uploaded. So we'll do it when I get home from work tomorrow. So did the Gigas get its cricket? Yeah, it did. Alright, so let's end it on that. Yeah, maybe, huh? Okay, so we're going to end the video here. This is the Tapaniquenia Gigas, got its cricket. So it fed, which is good. I'm happy for that. And I got to go watch Dave Scott's video now and figure out what's going on with him. And well, I'm not going to be able to see the description though because I'm on the TV. So I may have to actually look it up online here. So we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good evening, and hope you enjoyed. Shoot me some comments. I got to get the Ceratoma set back up into its new home, one that's a little less escapable. It's going to have to put some work in and re-web it, but it's its own fault. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.